In the 1970s, most people thought pickup trucks were just boring work vehicles that farmers and construction workers drove around. But here's what nobody tells you about that decade. While everyone was focused on muscle cars losing their power and the oil crisis changing everything, truck manufacturers were quietly creating some of the most innovative and rare vehicles ever built. These weren't your typical workhorses. They were engineering marvels, lifestyle statements, and sometimes downright weird experiments that most people have completely forgotten about. Today, we're diving into 15 incredibly rare trucks from the 1970s that will blow your mind and make you wonder how these amazing machines flew under the radar for so long. Starting our countdown at number 15, we have the 1975 Chevrolet Big Ten, a truck that perfectly shows how manufacturers were getting creative with their offerings. Despite Chevrolet selling nearly 750,000 trucks in 1975, the Big Ten itself remains largely unknown to most people. This wasn't just another Chevy pickup. It was specifically designed to bridge the gap between light-duty half-ton and heavy-duty three-quarter-ton trucks, giving buyers enhanced capabilities without requiring a full step up to a heavier class. What made the Big Ten special was its beefed-up suspension system. The front coil springs were upgraded to handle approximately 300 pounds more weight than a standard C10, while the rear leaf spring pack was rated for an increase of around 450 pounds. These structural improvements were complemented by unique tires and distinctive Big Ten bedside decals that subtly announced its increased payload capabilities. The truck maintained a humble appearance with its square body style, saddle blanket seat covers, and plastic door panels, all designed for durability rather than luxury. Under the hood, the Big Ten typically came with a 250 cubic inch straight six engine that Chevrolet had improved for better torque and ignition. But here's where it gets interesting. For an additional $340, buyers could upgrade to a massive 454 cubic inch big block V8 that transformed this practical truck into one of the quickest vehicles General Motors sold that year. By 1979, only 5,726 short bed, big block Big Tens were produced out of nearly 800,000 total trucks, making these particular combinations incredibly rare today. The Big Ten represented Chevrolet's early efforts to segment the truck market by offering increased capability for specific uses, such as hauling larger loads or accommodating slide-in campers. This strategic positioning allowed it to cater to a specific market need, and a similar version called the Heavy Half was also offered by GMC. As part of the third generation of Chevrolet's CK series, which spanned from 1973 to 1987, the Big Ten contributed to a highly successful and long-running platform. What's fascinating about the Big Ten is how its very success obscured its individual rarity. Because it was seamlessly integrated into the general perception of a Chevy pickup, most people never realized they were looking at something special. This phenomenon, where high volume for a brand can obscure the distinctiveness of a specific variant, shows how certain vehicles can hide in plain sight. Today, these trucks are considered affordable collectibles with market values typically ranging from $15,000 to over $30,000 for well-maintained examples. Number 14 takes us to the Ford Courier, a compact truck that emerged as Ford's answer to the growing mini-truck craze sweeping America. While not a high-volume domestic production, the Courier was part of Ford's strategy to capitalize on the camping phenomenon that was taking over recreational vehicle markets. This little truck could tow, haul, and still fit into tight spots that larger trucks couldn't navigate. The Courier featured a 110 cubic inch inline-4 engine and came with either a 3-speed automatic or a desirable 5-speed manual transmission. One particularly notable example featured bright yellow paint, a chrome front bumper, a strong tubular rear bumper, and a bed-mounted toolbox. It rode on 14-inch MB motorsports wheels with Firestone tires and was equipped with front disc brakes for improved stopping power. Inside, the cabin was functional with a brown vinyl and cloth bench seat, often protected by a clear plastic cover, a heater, a push-button radio, and a lockable glove box. What really set the Courier apart was its freewheeling edition package, which featured eye-catching acid sunset stripes of red to yellow down the sides, factory custom wheels, blacked-out bumpers, a roll bar, and special edition interior color trim. The Courier's distinctive appearance and historical significance even led to its display at the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan, cementing its place in automotive history. The Ford Courier demonstrated notable long-term reliability, with documented examples maintaining great shape even with 72,000 miles on the odometer and continuing to run strongly after extensive maintenance. This longevity was attributed to consistent care and the inherent durability of its simpler 1970s mechanical design. The fact that engines were rebuilt and numerous components replaced, allowing trucks to still run great decades later, underscores the maintainability of these vehicles. At number 13, we encounter the Ford F-350 Super Camper Special, produced from 1973 to 1979, as Ford's response to the camping craze that created several factory oddities during this era. This specialized truck was part of Ford's 6th generation F-Series and offered a vast array of options and special editions. Despite the F-Series' overall high production numbers, the Super Camper Special was a relatively low-volume vehicle with only a few thousand units produced during its 7-year run. Estimates suggest that approximately 2,500 of these trucks were built between 1973 and 1979, with fewer than 900 made in 1973 alone. The F-350 Super Camper Special was characterized by its substantial 140-inch wheelbase, which necessitated a unique design solution for spare tire placement. Due to the extended wheelbase reducing space behind the rear axle, Ford created a secret spare tire compartment. This truck was designed with utility and power in mind, featuring cleverly designed and extremely efficient campers with spacious floor plans and integrated holding tanks. A distinctive two-tone paint scheme, typically Wimbledon white and Durango tan, further set it apart from standard trucks. Under the hood sat a robust 460 cubic inch Ford big block V8 engine paired with a Ford C6 heavy-duty automatic transmission and a 4.10 Dana 70 limited slip rear axle. Power steering was also a standard feature. The truck was designed for substantial loads, boasting a payload capacity of over 5,000 pounds and a gross vehicle weight rating of approximately 10,000 pounds. However, fuel economy was notably poor, with the massive V8 averaging only 7 miles per gallon, making daily commutes a costly endeavor. The Super Camper Special faced some common reliability concerns shared with other Ford trucks of its era. Rust was a prevalent issue, attacking virtually everywhere, including critical areas like the lower firewall, rear spring attachment points, inner sills, floors, and especially under the vinyl roof covering. This widespread corrosion could significantly compromise structural integrity. Despite these challenges, the Cleveland V8 engine was generally durable and relatively inexpensive to rebuild, though oil leaks around the timing cover and from cylinder heads were common but not severe enough to warrant immediate attention unless excessive. Number 12 brings us to the Chevrolet Longhorn, produced through 1972 as a specialized variant within the CK series pickup line. The name Longhorn directly referred to its extended wheelbase, which distinguished it from standard CK models. A total of 20,639 Longhorns were sold during its production run, averaging approximately 4,500 units per year. This relatively low production volume, especially for a Chevrolet truck, contributes to its rarity today. For instance, only one 1968 Chevrolet C20 Longhorn has been recorded for sale in the last 3 years, indicating its scarcity in the current market. The Longhorn's primary distinguishing feature was its extended wheelbase, which provided additional bed length for increased cargo capacity. This was particularly beneficial for accommodating larger sliding campers, demonstrating how manufacturers were adapting their existing platforms to new lifestyle trends. The Longhorn represented Chevrolet's early efforts to segment the truck market by offering increased capability for specific uses, such as hauling larger loads or accommodating recreational equipment. The truck offered a wide range of engine options, from a straight 6 to a 396 cubic inch big block V8. For the 1968 C20 Longhorn, available engines included a 250 cubic inch 6-cylinder producing 155 horsepower, a 292 cubic inch 6-cylinder with 170 horsepower, a 307 cubic inch V8 making 200 horsepower, a 327 cubic inch V8 with 240 horsepower, and 396 cubic inch V8s producing either 275 or 310 horsepower. By 1972, horsepower ratings saw a noticeable decrease, reflecting the industry's shift to more accurate SAE net horsepower measurements and the introduction of early emissions controls. Like other 1970s vehicles, the reliability of the Chevrolet Longhorn largely depended on consistent maintenance. While the Longhorn's powertrains were generally considered robust, the truck's body was susceptible to rust, a common issue for vehicles of that era. The cabs of older trucks, including the CK series, were relatively small, which could be a comfort issue for taller drivers. Today, the Chevrolet Longhorn is considered an affordable collectible with average market values around $21,867 for well-maintained examples. Coming in at number 11, the International Harvester Travelall from 1969 to 1975 was positioned as a suburban killer in the American market, aiming to compete with mainstream family-oriented utility vehicles. A particularly unique and rare variant was the Wagon Master, essentially a travelall with a pickup bed, designed specifically to pull campers. This innovative design was ahead of its time, representing an early attempt at a multi-purpose crossover vehicle that blended SUV and pickup utility long before the segment became mainstream. Production of the Wagon Master was very limited, with extremely few produced in 1974. Estimates suggest fewer than 2,000 Wagon Masters were built in 1973 and 1974 combined, with less than 500 in 1974 alone. Unfortunately, International Harvester's light trucks faced declining sales in the early to mid-1970s, leading to the discontinuation of the Wagon Master after the 1974 model year and all IH pickups by 1975. This market failure, despite its innovative concept, has contributed to its current status as a highly sought-after collectible due to its extreme rarity. The Travelall featured bold, squared-off body lines and a commanding stance, with a prominent grille and round headlights that defined its rugged aesthetic. The interior was utilitarian yet comfortable, utilizing durable materials designed to withstand heavy use. A notable technological advancement for its time was the option of full-time four-wheel drive. The Wagon Master variant was particularly distinctive as a factory-built four-door pickup, showcasing International Harvester's innovative approach to utility vehicle design. The International Harvester Travelall was typically powered by an International Harvester 392 cubic inch V8 engine, producing between 150 to 175 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque. This engine featured an 8.01 compression ratio and a conventional distributor and coil ignition system. Performance figures for the Travelall were modest by modern standards, with an estimated 0 to 60 mph time of 12 to 15 seconds, a quarter-mile time of 18 to 20 seconds, and a top speed of 100 mph. The Wagon Master variant specifically utilized a Comanche 392 CID V8 with a 4-barrel carburetor. The Travelall's robust construction, typical of International Harvester's farming and tractor roots, suggests a durable build. However, the primary reason for the Travelall and Wagon Master's discontinuation was market failure rather than inherent reliability problems. Today, the International Harvester Travelall is considered an instant classic and an affordable collectible. The average sale price for a Travelall is $31,021, with prices ranging from as low as $550 for restoration projects to as high as $110,000 for exceptional examples. Number 10 introduces us to the Subaru Brat, which stands for Bi-Drive Recreational All-Terrain Transporter. This unique vehicle was produced from 1978 to 1994, primarily for the North American market, and was developed to compete with the growing segment of small pickup trucks such as the Chevrolet LEV and Toyota Hilux. The Brat's most distinctive feature was a clever circumvention of the chicken tax, a punitive 25% import tariff on light trucks. By welding in rear-facing plastic jump seats in the cargo bed, Subaru was able to classify the Brat as a passenger car, reducing the import tariff to a mere 2.5%. This ingenious response to a trade regulation profoundly shaped the vehicle's design and market positioning. Initial sales figures for the Brat were relatively strong for a niche import, with 20,945 units sold in 1978 and 23,441 in 1979. Despite these numbers, the Brat is still considered rare and unusual in popular memory, perhaps due to its unconventional nature in the American truck market. Beyond its defining rear-facing jump seats, the Brat featured a spare tire conveniently located under the hood, a front Nerf bar, and a hidden bed step. The Brat was equipped with four-wheel drive, a significant selling point for off-road enthusiasts. It was available with a T-top option, adding to its recreational appeal. Its unique aesthetic and practical features contributed to it gaining a cult following for its quirky design, practicality, and solid performance in rough terrain. The Brat was powered by Subaru's signature horizontally opposed boxer engines. Initially, it featured a 1.6-liter EA71 OHV H4 engine, which produced 67 horsepower and 81 pound-feet of torque through 1981. From 1981 onwards, a standard 1.8-liter engine was introduced, increasing output to 73 horsepower and 94 pound-feet of torque. For the 1983 and 1984 model years, a more powerful turbocharged version of the 1.8-liter engine was available, delivering 95 horsepower and 123 pound-feet of torque. Transmission options included a 4-speed manual as standard, with a 3-speed automatic available as an option. The turbocharged engine, however, was exclusively paired with the 3-speed automatic transmission. The Brat's 4-wheel drive system evolved from a single range unit from 1978 to 1980 to a dual range system from 1981 onwards, enhancing its off-road capabilities. The turbocharged 4WD system was push-button actuated and single range. At number 9, we find the Dodge Warlock, produced for a brief period from 1976 to 1979 as a factory-customized pickup truck influenced by the boogie van craze of the era. It was a distinctive member of Dodge's Adult Toys series, a line of trucks designed to appeal to buyers seeking personal expression beyond traditional utility. Despite its unique styling and positioning, the Warlock was often overshadowed by its more famous sibling, the Lil Red Express truck. This dynamic highlights how even within a niche market, certain models can capture more public attention than others. The Warlock was visually striking, easily identified by its distinctive gold pinstriping applied both inside and out. It featured custom wheels and a factory-custom bucket seat interior, setting it apart from more utilitarian pickups. Originally, the Warlock was available in a limited palette of red, dark green, and black. A key design element that gave the truck a decidedly down-home country vibe was its wooden bed and stake bedsides. This emphasis on aesthetic customization, rather than solely on performance, reflected a growing trend in the 1970s of trucks being seen as vehicles for personal expression. The Warlock's bold styling and spirited name were part of Dodge's strategy to add flair to the utilitarian nature of a pickup. Its dashboard even featured speedometers capable of clocking over 100 mph, a feature absolutely unheard of for trucks at the time. The Warlock 2, introduced in 1979, was a later iteration with an expanded color palette, giving buyers more options for personal expression. Under the hood, the Warlock offered a range of engine options, from the 318 cubic inch V8 up to a monstrous 440 big block. The optional 440 CID V8 produced 255 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque. For the 1979 Dodge D150, which shared the Warlock's platform, engine options included the 225 cubic inch i6, 318 cubic inch V8, and 360 cubic inch V8. Horsepower for these engines ranged from 95 to 170, and torque from 125 to 280 pound-feet. Specific drivetrain configurations, such as those equipped with the 440 cubic inch V8, were exceptionally rare, appearing in fewer than 100 examples per year. The Dodge Warlock, built on the D-Series platform, generally benefited from the reputation for durability common to 1970s American trucks. The drivetrains of these vehicles were considered rock solid. However, Dodge trucks of this era were noted for being slightly more rust-prone compared to their Ford and GM counterparts. While the Warlock's primary differentiation was cosmetic, its underlying mechanical components were robust. Today, the Dodge Warlock is considered an affordable collectible. The average sale price for a third-generation Dodge Warlock is $18,092, with sales ranging from $13,500 to $34,000. Despite its unique factory-custom features and the extreme rarity of certain configurations, the Warlock has been often overshadowed by its more famous cousin, the Lil Red Express truck. This suggests that while it is a genuinely rare and distinctive vehicle, it has not achieved the same iconic status or market value as its more famous sibling. Number 8 brings us to the Chevrolet LUV, which stands for Light Utility Vehicle. Produced from 1970 to 1978, the LUV represented Chevrolet's strategic response to the burgeoning demand for smaller, more fuel-efficient trucks during the 1970s oil crises. A key aspect of the LUV's history is its origin as an imported vehicle, rooted in a collaboration between General Motors and Isuzu in Japan. This arrangement highlights the early stages of automotive globalization and the widespread practice of badge engineering, where foreign-made vehicles were sold under domestic brands to quickly enter new market segments. The LUV featured a no-nonsense exterior with a boxy silhouette and clean lines, reflecting its utilitarian purpose. Its compact dimensions made it a nimble option for urban dwellers. The interior was described as basic but functional, utilizing durable materials. Color options ranged from subdued to vibrant hues like Sundance Orange and Sky Blue. The standard two-door pickup was its most iconic body style. The Macho package, a notable trim introduced in 1974, included striped upholstery and a three-spoke steering wheel, adding a touch of perceived luxury. The LUV's unique rear fender design was also noted for its appeal. Powering the LUV was a 1.8-liter four-cylinder engine, producing approximately 80 horsepower and 97 pound-feet of torque. This engine had an 8.51 compression ratio and utilized a carburetor fuel system. Performance figures were modest, with an estimated 0 to 60 mph time of 15 seconds, a quarter-mile time of 20 seconds, and a top speed of 90 mph. A 1979 4WD LUV, for comparison, took 16.3 seconds to reach 60 mph and 20.6 seconds in the quarter mile at 67 mph, with its engine described as positively anemic. The standard transmission was a 4-speed manual driving the rear wheels. Fuel economy was excellent at 20 to 25 miles per gallon, and the truck weighed approximately 2,800 pounds. The Chevrolet LE was generally considered cheap, dependable, and easy to work on. It had a good run of model years, suggesting overall reliability for its time. However, the LUV was not without its drawbacks. Its steering was often described as heavy and slow, the engine as positively anemic, and the cab as cramped for 6-footers. It also suffered from a noisy, crude ride and a low-end interior. While not a high-volume vehicle compared to full-size trucks, the LUV achieved significant sales, peaking at over 100,000 units in 1979. Over its 10-year run, 500,000 LUVs were sold. Special editions like the Macho package added a touch of exclusivity and are considered rare finds today. The LEV was ultimately replaced by the Chevrolet S10 pickup in 1982. Today, the Chevrolet LUV is considered an affordable collectible, with prices for well-preserved examples ranging from a few $1,000s for restoration projects to potentially over $10,000 for pristine examples. At number 7, we discover the Datsun 620 pickup truck, produced from 1972 to 1979 and playing a significant role in the mini-truck craze that swept the United States in the early 1970s. Datsun, a brand of Nissan, had a history of building pickup trucks since the mid-1950s, positioning the 620 as a key offering in this emerging compact utility segment. The 620's success, alongside other Japanese imports, marked a growing influence of foreign manufacturers in the American market, challenging traditional domestic offerings by providing smaller, more fuel-efficient alternatives. The Datsun 620 was recognized for its good looks and its role in personifying the mini-truck trend. It was offered in a wide array of body styles, demonstrating Datsun's comprehensive approach to the compact truck market. These included a 2-door pickup, a 2-door long bed pickup, a 2-door extended cab called King Cab, a 4-door pickup, a 3-door delivery van, and even a 2-door coupe utility. This versatility allowed it to cater to diverse consumer needs, from basic utility to more passenger-oriented configurations. Production figures for the USA market show substantial numbers for a compact import, with 87,116 units in 1973, 60,011 in 1974, and 72,023 in 1975. Despite these relatively high sales volumes, the Datsun 620 is often considered a rare find in the context of trucks you never knew about, perhaps due to its foreign origin and the sheer dominance of larger American trucks in popular memory. The availability of a King Cab extended cab option further diversified its appeal. The 620 offered a range of inline 4 engine options throughout its production run, including the 1.5-liter J15, 1.6-liter L16, 1.8-liter L18, 2.0-liter L20B, and a 2.2-liter SD22 diesel. Transmission choices included a 3-speed automatic, 4-speed manual available in different versions for 1972 to 1973 and 1974 to 1979, and a 5-speed manual which became an option from 1977. The wheelbase varied between 100.2 inches and 109.6 inches, depending on the model. While specific horsepower, torque, and acceleration figures aren't provided for each engine, the emphasis on its role in the mini truck craze suggests a focus on fuel efficiency and practicality over raw power. The Datsun 620, as a Japanese import from the 1970s, generally benefited from a growing reputation for reliability compared to some domestic counterparts. The broader perception of Japanese vehicles at the time was often one of durability and efficiency. This reputation for dependable performance contributed to the 620's success in establishing the compact truck segment in North America. The Datsun 620, along with other successful Japanese compacts, helped lay the groundwork for Japanese automakers' eventual dominance in smaller vehicle categories in the US, shifting consumer perceptions about reliability and efficiency. Today, the Datsun 620 is considered an affordable collectible. The average sale price for a Datsun 620 is $12,482, with sales ranging from a low of $3,200 for restoration projects to a high of $28,000 for exceptional examples. Its role as a key player in the rise of import mini trucks contributes to its historical significance and appeal among collectors. Number 6 takes us to the Jeep J Series, specifically the J10 and J20 models from the 1970s. The J Series, produced from 1962 to 1988, represented a long-standing lineage of full-size pickup trucks based on the robust Jeep SJ Wagoneer platform. During the 1970s, American Motors Corporation owned Jeep, and during this period, the iconic Gladiator name was simplified to simply J Series designations, evolving from J2000 and J4000 until 1973 to J10 and J20 from 1974 onwards. This change in nomenclature reflected a shift to designating payload capacity, with J10 representing half-ton and J20 representing three-quarter-ton capacity. The J Series is particularly noted for its durability, with models from 1974 and later being considered especially robust for everyday use. The optional AMC 401 V8 engine was offered from 1974 through 1978, enhancing its performance capabilities. The quadra-track four-wheel drive system also became available with all engines from 1974, further solidifying its off-road prowess. The J Series was built on a ladder frame chassis, known for its ruggedness and durability, and was available in both two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive configurations. It offered various body styles, including regular cab, extended cab, and crew cab, providing versatility for different needs. A defining characteristic was its high ground clearance and robust construction, which contributed to its impressive off-road performance. The J Series design reflected a prioritization of rugged utility and off-road capability over on-road refinement, a common philosophy for utility vehicles of the era. For the 1974 J10, available engines included the AMC 258 i6 and AMC 360 V8, both producing 112 to 180 horsepower and 210 to 285 pound-feet of torque. A more powerful option was the AMC 401 V8, available from 1974 to 1978, which produced a robust 330 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. This engine was known for its toughness and excellent power output. Performance estimates for the 1974 J10 included a 0 to 60 mph time of 15 to 20 seconds, a quarter-mile time of 20 to 25 seconds, and a top speed of 85 to 95 mph. The J Series boasted an impressive maximum towing capacity of 3.5 tons. The Jeep J Series is generally regarded as simple, easy to work on, and reliable. Its axles, transmission, and transfer case were considered robust. However, some owners noted that the original engines could be inefficient and lack power when perfectly tuned, and many suffered from vacuum leaks, bad carburetors, and poor ignition. Rust was a significant concern, particularly in the floorboards and the rear by the bumper where leaf springs hang. Common mechanical issues included death wobble, a violent front-end shake often triggered by hitting a bump at speed, typically caused by worn steering or suspension components. Today, the Jeep J Series is considered a good investment for collectors who appreciate off-roading capability and ruggedness. Its value has seen a significant increase, with prices nearly doubling from $15,926 to $30,250 between early 2021 and early 2022. It has even surpassed the value of the popular Jeep Cherokee. The rising collector value, coupled with the popularity of modern engine swaps, such as Hemi engines, highlights a growing appreciation for authentic, robust vintage platforms that offer a foundation for high-performance customization. Coming in at number 5, we encounter the Dodge D-Series Adventurer SE, which emerged in the 1970s as a distinctive offering in the pickup truck market. It was designed to provide upscale comfort at a time when trucks were still mostly bare-bones work machines, a pioneering approach that set it apart from its contemporaries. While Ford and Chevrolet also offered upgraded trims, Dodge made a deliberate effort to make the Adventurer SE feel exceptionally special. The Adventurer line expanded into 3 distinct trims, with the base Adventurer Sport and the top-tier SE. Despite its innovative positioning and serious V8 muscle, the Adventurer SE struggled to gain significant market share against the dominant Ford F-Series and Chevrolet C10, partly due to Dodge's smaller dealer network and marketing resources. This illustrates that even with a compelling product, established brand loyalty and infrastructure are critical for widespread market success. Inside, the Adventurer SE featured padded vinyl seats, full carpeting, a wood grain dash, and offered optional bucket seats with a center console. These appointments were a significant departure from the utilitarian norms of most trucks at the time, establishing an early concept of a luxury truck. Externally, the Adventurer SE boasted chrome bumpers, body-side moldings, and optional two-tone paint schemes designed to make the truck pop in a sea of plain, single-color workhorses. Its clean lines, squared-off grille, and tasteful chrome touches contributed to its appearance as a time capsule of 70s truck design. The Adventurer SE offered a robust lineup of engines, including the 225 cubic inch slant 6, 318 cubic inch LA V8, 383 cubic inch B-Series V8, and 440 cubic inch V8. These engines were noted for providing plenty of power for towing, hauling, or cruising. While specific horsepower and torque figures for the Adventurer SE aren't detailed, the general DW series engines of the era saw varying outputs. For instance, the 318 cubic inch V8 produced 230 horsepower in early 1970s models, dropping to 150 horsepower by 1972 to 1977, and the 440 cubic inch V8 produced 375 horsepower in early 1970s, dropping to 225 horsepower by 1972 to 1978. The truck's flexibility and engine choice made it highly versatile. The Dodge D-Series Adventurer SE was built on a platform known for its tough, reliable engines and rock-solid drivetrains. However, like other Dodge trucks of the period, it was slightly more rust-prone compared to its Ford and GM counterparts. The overall reliability of 1970s vehicles, including the Adventurer SE, was heavily influenced by consistent maintenance practices. Its market performance, which lagged behind competitors, was more a reflection of marketing and distribution challenges than inherent reliability problems. Today, the Dodge D-Series Adventurer SE is considered an affordable collectible. The average sale price for a third-generation Dodge D-Series pickup, which includes the Adventurer SE, is $22,127, with sales ranging from $5,300 to $81,400. Its unique blend of comfort and style ensures that it still turns heads at classic car shows and deserves far more recognition. The Adventurer SE's pioneering role in establishing the concept of a luxury truck adds to its historical significance and appeal among collectors. Number 4 brings us to the extremely rare Dodge D100 Dude, a short-lived, factory-customized pickup truck produced for only 2 model years, 1970 and 1971. Its estimated production numbers were quite low, with only 1,500 to 2,000 D100 Dudes believed to have been made during its brief run, making it a genuinely rare vehicle today. The Dude package was part of a broader trend of manufacturers creating niche, cosmetically unique vehicles to appeal to specific demographics. The project even involved a collaboration with actor Don Knotts, known for his role as Barney Fife, highlighting an early attempt at celebrity endorsement in automotive marketing. As part of the D-Series, the Dude shares its foundational platform with other trucks like the Adventurer SE, demonstrating how manufacturers could create multiple distinct models from the same basic architecture. The Dude was primarily an appearance package, characterized by a special paint option that set it apart from standard D100 pickups. While specific details of its unique styling aren't extensively provided, its designation as Dude and association with a celebrity suggest an emphasis on a distinctive, perhaps playful aesthetic. This approach to creating perceived value and rarity through cosmetic enhancements, rather than significant engineering changes, was a cost-effective strategy for manufacturers in the 1970s to diversify their offerings amidst economic pressures. The D100 Dude was typically equipped with a 225 CID slant-6 engine, producing 145 horsepower and 215 pound-feet of torque. For buyers seeking more power, the Dude could also be optioned with a 383 CID big block V8. For general DW series trucks of the era, the 383 cubic inch B V8 produced 330 horsepower. This range of engine options allowed the Dude to cater to both economy-minded buyers and those desiring more substantial performance. The Dodge D100 Dude, being part of the D series, benefited from the platform's reputation for rock-solid drivetrains. However, like other Dodge trucks of the 1970s, it was slightly more rust-prone compared to its Ford and GM counterparts. While the Dude was a cosmetically unique offering, its underlying mechanical components were consistent with the broader D-Series line. Today, the Dodge D100 Dude is considered an affordable collectible. While specific market values for the Dude variant aren't explicitly detailed, the average sale price for a 1970 Dodge D100 1/2-ton is approximately $17,655, with sales ranging from $9,345 to $66,000. Its extreme rarity, stemming from very limited production, makes it a unique find for collectors. The Dude represents an early, albeit niche, example of truck personalization, foreshadowing the modern trend of highly customized and lifestyle-oriented pickup trucks. At number 3, we find another unusual Dodge creation, the 1978 D100 Gene Machine. This truck was described as a bit wacky and definitely a cause for some head-scratching. It was another distinctive member of Dodge's Adult Toys series, emphasizing bold styling and spirited names to appeal to a broader consumer base seeking personal expression in their vehicles. The Gene Machine was primarily a cosmetic package, with not much done to transform a regular Dodge D100 beyond its unique aesthetic. The defining characteristic of the Gene Machine was its unique, fashion-driven aesthetic. It featured distinctive orange exterior decals applied over a blue paint scheme, giving it a playful and unconventional appearance. The interior continued this theme with a specially trimmed bench seat. This approach highlights a trend in 1970s automotive marketing, where manufacturers attempted to tap into popular fashion and youth culture, such as the prevalence of denim, by offering cosmetically unique, limited edition vehicles. This strategy aimed to create perceived value and rarity through superficial differentiation rather than significant engineering changes. The Gene Machine was powered by a 318 CID V8 engine, producing 175 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque. This engine provided adequate power for its utility role. For comparison, the 318 cubic inch LA V8 in general DW series trucks produced 150 horsepower from 1972 to 1977 and 135 horsepower from 1978 to 1987, suggesting that the Gene Machine might have received a slightly higher tune or specific calibration for its unique package. The Dodge D100 Gene Machine, being based on the D-Series platform, shared its reputation for rock-solid drivetrains. However, like other Dodge trucks of the era, it was known to be slightly more rust-prone compared to its Ford and GM competitors. The overall reliability of 1970s vehicles, including the Gene Machine, was heavily influenced by consistent maintenance practices. While its primary differentiation was cosmetic, its underlying mechanical components were consistent with the broader D-Series line. Its rarity is evident in its limited presence in the market, with only one 1978 Dodge D100 Gene Machine pickup listed for sale in the last 5 years in available databases. The Gene Machine is considered an affordable collectible, with sales data indicating that the 1978 Dodge D100 Custom Gene Machine pickup has seen sales ranging from $7,500 to $25,000. Its distinctiveness and wacky nature contribute to its appeal among collectors who appreciate the eccentric design and marketing experiments of the 1970s. Number 2 takes us to the Dodge Macho Power Wagon from 1978, a specialized variant within the Power Wagon lineage that emerged as part of Dodge's Adult Toys series. This series aimed to appeal to a growing segment of truck buyers who desired vehicles that were both capable workhorses and expressions of a macho lifestyle. The Macho Power Wagon is considered very rare, and its distinctiveness and limited production contribute to its scarcity in the market today. The truck gained additional recognition from its appearance in the popular 1980s TV show Simon and Simon, which helped cement its place in popular culture. The Macho Power Wagon was designed to convey a rugged and powerful image, and while specific visual cues aren't extensively detailed, its name and association with the Adult Toys series suggest bold graphics and aggressive styling. A unique identifier for a Macho Power Wagon is a small metal plate located on the radiator core support, which should display 3 paint codes. The option of a very rare 440 V8 engine further enhanced its macho appeal. The Macho Power Wagon was typically equipped with a 318 cubic inch V8 engine, producing 170 horsepower and 245 pound-feet of torque. It had a maximum payload capacity of 2,130 pounds and a curb weight of 6,050 pounds. For those seeking more power, the Macho Power Wagon could also be optioned with a 440 Ci V8, which produced 255 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque. The dashboards of these trucks featured speedometers capable of clocking over 100 mph, a notable feature for trucks of that era. The Dodge Macho Power Wagon, built on the robust Power Wagon platform, generally shared the reputation for durability common to 1970s American trucks. The drivetrains of these vehicles were considered rock solid. However, like other Dodge trucks of the period, they were slightly more rust-prone compared to Ford and GM models. The overall reliability of 1970s vehicles was heavily influenced by consistent maintenance practices. While the Macho Power Wagon emphasized style and performance, its underlying mechanical components were consistent with the broader Power Wagon line. The Macho Power Wagon is considered an affordable collectible, though its market value shows considerable variability based on condition and specific options. A barn find version was listed for $4,200, while a better condition example fetched $13,200 in 2017, and a 1979 Macho Power Wagon in excellent condition sold for $24,200 in 2021. Sales data for the broader Power Wagon series indicates an average price of $76,872, with a wide range from $112,000 to $1,500,000 for exceptional custom builds. The Macho Power Wagon's status as a very rare vehicle, coupled with its appearance in popular culture, contributes to its desirability among collectors. Finally, at number 1, we have the legendary Dodge Lil Red Express, a highly distinctive performance truck produced for a very short run, only in 1978 and 1979. It was a prominent member of Dodge's Adult Toys range, designed as a muscle car with a cargo box. The truck's existence was made possible by a specific regulatory loophole where light trucks with a gross vehicle weight rating over 6,100 pounds were exempt from the stringent emissions regulations that applied to passenger cars at the time. This allowed Dodge to create a powerful, smog gear-free pickup with muscle car-like performance. Initial production was capped at 2,000 units, but strong demand led to 2,188 units being produced in 1978. Following its success, production increased to 5,018 units in 1979. However, the regulatory landscape shifted in 1979 when the exemption limit was raised to 8,500 pounds, forcing the 1979 models to include catalytic converters. This regulatory change drastically reduced the performance, sound, and power of the Lil Red Express, causing its overall appeal to wane rapidly, leading to owners dumping their Lil Reds in parking lots. The Lil Red Express was instantly recognizable by its bright red color and peculiar design, featuring 2 large, stacked exhaust pipes extending vertically behind the cab. Other distinctive visual elements included wood side panels and door graphics, contributing to its snazzy paint job and deluxe interior. The bed itself featured lots of real tree wood, and the truck's overall aesthetic was described as a showpiece of creativity with a touch of daring. The 1979 model introduced some minor changes, including dual rectangular headlights and an 85 mph speedometer. Its interior was noted for being tidy with great visibility, and it rode higher than most performance trucks of the era. The 1978 Lil Red Express was powered by a high-performance 360 cubic inch V8 engine, which, thanks to the emissions loophole, produced 225 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. This engine was paired with a modified A727 Torque Flight 3-speed automatic transmission that sent power to a Dana 9¼ rear axle with 3.55 gears. The truck also featured power brakes with front discs and rear drums. Its performance was exceptional for its time, earning it the title of fastest American-made vehicle from 0 to 100 in 1978. It could accelerate from 0 to 60 mph in a remarkable 6.7 seconds, outperforming a Chevrolet Corvette of the same era, which took 7.8 seconds. Quarter-mile times were in the 15-second range. The 1979 model, while still powerful at 225 to 30 horsepower, saw its performance and sound drastically reduced due to the addition of catalytic converters. The Lil Red Express was known for being noisy and having a hard ride. Its brakes were considered inadequate and prone to locking up too easily. The most significant issue affecting its long-term desirability was the impact of the 1979 emissions regulations. The forced inclusion of catalytic converters drastically reduced the performance, sound, and power of the 1979 models, leading to a rapid decline in market appeal and owners dumping their Lil Reds in parking lots. This highlights how external regulatory changes can fundamentally alter a vehicle's core characteristics and perceived value. Today, the Dodge Lil Red Express has seen a substantial uptick in desirability and is considered a rare truck. While its original price in 1978 was around $7,400, its market value today ranges from $20,000 to $40,000. Hagerty Values place the average at $20,700, $25,700, while Classic.com's auction average is $31,000. It is often included in lists of historic performance trucks alongside models like the F-150, SVT Lightning, and Cyclone, solidifying its place as a collectible sport truck. Its groundbreaking performance and unique styling, born from a regulatory loophole, have cemented its status as a muscle truck archetype, influencing future performance truck development and establishing a new segment of enthusiast vehicles. These 15 incredible trucks prove that the 1970s was far from a boring decade for pickup innovation. From the Chevrolet Big Ten's enhanced capability bridging the gap between light and heavy-duty trucks, to the International Harvester Travelall's forward-thinking crossover design, to the Lil Red Express's muscle car performance in a truck body, each of these rare machines represents a unique chapter in automotive history. They show us how manufacturers adapted to changing regulations like emissions controls and import tariffs, economic pressures from oil crises, and evolving consumer desires for lifestyle vehicles through creativity, bold engineering choices, and sometimes downright experimental thinking. The story of these trucks reveals several fascinating trends that shaped the industry. We saw the rise of the lifestyle truck, with vehicles like the Dodge Adventurer SE pioneering luxury features and pickups, decades before such amenities became standard.